Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the time Captain America became the leader of the second Thunderbolts lineup. He was only on the series for 5 issues, very briefly, but he has one really good story arc that I really enjoyed, and hardcore Cap fans or casual comic book readers, I tell you guys, it's a pretty good story. It's well written. It's written by Fabian Nicieza. He did a killer job on the Thunderbolts series. Mark Bagley's art. Mark Bagley was on since day one. And this time of the Thunderbolts came out way back in 2001, so these are pretty old. And without further ado, let's get into issue 50. This particular issue, I'm not going to cover what went on. This is going to be part of another video focusing on the time Hawkeye was the leader of the Thunderbolts. I already did 2 videos on that. I have to do the third and last one. And what we do need to know, basically what happened, to very briefly condense and summarize, is the Thunderbolts all get official government pardons, all of their criminal past, their time as supervillains, it's all forgiven. There's a big trade-off. One, they can't be superheroes anymore. They have to go back to doing normal civilian stuff. Hawkeye has to go to prison, sort of have to pay for the sins. He does the noble thing. He accepts. And the other Thunderbolts team that they were fighting with, that were part of the government, the Redeemers, also get the chance of redemption because all these guys have criminal past or tied to supervillains or villains themselves. And that the custodian, the guy that's going to make sure that these new Thunderbolts are going to stay on the straight and narrow, is Captain America. The lineup is Charcoal, old school Thunderbolt. Love this character. The new Meteorite has interesting powers based on hard air and stuff like that. We have Jolt, also classic Thunderbolt. Fixer, old school Thunderbolt. New Beetle, who has a woman actually piloting the armor. I love the design. He's basically a flying tank. Smuggler, who is Atlas's brother, and the mysterious Scream. So Cap is on board. He's going to make sure these guys come out to be awesome superheroes. Issue number 51. Here we start that story arc I was telling you guys about. On the cover, we have Rebel. This guy is from the Heroes Reborn universe. And we get a little bit complicated because the Heroes Reborn universe was created by Franklin Richards to save all of Marvel's heroes from Onslaught. Then, when that time ended, that phase of Marvel ended, and Marvel's heroes came back to normal 616 Earth, Franklin Richards, at the end of that particular story, pulls that particular Earth, the Heroes Reborn one, and makes it Counter-Earth. And Dr. Doom stays behind. He becomes the ruler. And he stayed there for quite a long time. So we have Rebel. And the basic premise of this story is that Dr. Doom is having to deal with a terrorist who has ties to the original Captain America. So he sends Rebel to the normal Earth to kidnap Dallas Riordan, who has ties to the Thunderbolts, used to be Atlas's girlfriend, the liaison to the Thunderbolts liaison to the United States government, Citizen V, and Doom kidnaps her to force Captain America to go to Counter-Earth and blackmail him to deal with this terrorist, this mysterious terrorist that we're going to see in a little bit. So we have Captain America. He's training really hard his new recruits, the Redeemers. He's really pushing them. Like, some of the Redeemers are not liking how hard his training drills are, and are not cool with it. But here we have Captain America. He finds out the whole thing about Dallas Riordan. They go to Counter-Earth, and what happens? Also, we have, during the story, like the original Thunderbolts, Songbird, Mach 2, Moonstone, they're all having troubles to adapt to normal civilian life, especially Moonstone. She's bored out of her mind, like the lack of adventure in her life. And she's approached by this little alien dude. He's like, hey, I have a friend, I need you to help, and stuff like that. And this is going to be real bad news for the Thunderbolts further down the line. So, Redeemers battle against Rebel, try to find out what's going on with the whole thing with Dallas Riordan. They discover that Dr. Doom's behind this whole kidnapping, and he tells him, it tells Cap, it's like, I did this to force your hand, and you have to deal with this eco-terrorist. He has ties to you. It's all your fault. It's going to ruin my reign on Counter-Earth. And it's the Bucky that Cap had back in the Heroes Reborn universe. And this was really awesome because she was sort of forgotten. They were able to bring her back for this particular story, so it's pretty cool. So the Redeemers have to battle against Bucky and her young allies. And that was super awesome. And the little alien dude, his friend was actually Graviton. And what they want is for Moonstone to push Graviton's abilities further and further. He wants to learn more and more. Plus, they're sort of like Graviton's sort of in love with Moonstone. They have this sort of weird relationship. So this is going to be the basis for a really awesome story arc near the end of, or near the best part of the Thunderbolts run. Because after that, some of the stories sort of go to shit after that. So Captain America has to deal with the new allies, and it's sort of heartbreaking because during the battle, supposedly Bucky has this biological weapon, and she's going to bomb, and she's going to blow it up in Latveria, force Doom to go back to the normal 616 Earth, leave Counter-Earth alone. And so it seems to be something really messed up. Like, she's Bucky. Captain's really... because he doesn't remember his time on Counter-Earth. Like, most of Marvel heroes don't remember. And there's this really heartbreaking moment when they're confronting Bucky, where she tells Cap, like, you guys left, you abandoned us, and our planet went to shit. And we had to fend for ourselves, and we had to deal with Dr. Doom, and you guys just forgot about us. And it's really heartbreaking because she really believed in Captain America. Captain America was her idol, and some of the writing is just really, really good. And like Captain America is sort of broken and divided over this whole situation. Like, obviously he doesn't want Bucky to use this bomb, this biological weapons. It would be something terrible, but he's really not on board with the whole thing with Doom either. Like, especially after what he finds out. But what happens in this story is that in the battle, they discover that the weapon that she's going to use, it's a bluff. There's no biological weapon. They were going to trick Doom off the planet. And Cap ruins her plans. But as I said before, he was really divided. So things are just really bittersweet for Captain America. This whole situation just leaves a real bad taste in his mouth. And he realized what a good ally Bucky had been. And that they probably had been a real good team together, and having to deal with Doom and help Doom resolve his problems. So that was that's why it's so bittersweet for Captain America. So that's the story. 51 to 52, those are pretty awesome. Because 53, it's actually a story focused on Charcoal. Cap just appears in a couple of pages, obviously being the kick-ass leader that he is. Actually, he's on the last 2 pages. Like, Charcoal resolves this problem with the Secret Empire, and the Thunderbolts fly in the last page. And in issue 54, Citizen V pops out of nowhere. He's back and takes control of the Redeemers. And Cap says, okay, we don't know where you came from. This Citizen V does have ties to the V battalion. He's sort of like the real deal. But actually, it's Baron Zemo living inside this Citizen V's mind. And obviously Cap doesn't know about that. So actually we have the return of Baron Zemo as the leader of the Thunderbolts. So I'm going to leave this video here. Hope you guys liked it. Check out Thunderbolts. The whole run is really good if you're Cap fans. Even though I spoiled the story, there's some really good writing on issue 51 to 52. So see you guys later. Bye.